How's it going, everyone? Texas Man here. I hope that you guys are all having a spectacular day. If you guys would, please give this video a thumbs up. If you guys do enjoy it, subscribe, of course, if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, make sure you guys hit that bell notification button so you guys don't miss out on future videos and streams here on the channel. As always, if you guys have any movies, shows, or games you guys want me to cover here on the channel, please let me know in the comment section down below. You guys can also find me on Twitch at Douglas447, streaming there at least once a week, whether it's Halo, Battlefield, Call of Duty, Destiny 2, or anything else you guys suggest for me to stream over there. And we're going to be talking about 10 ways in which the MCU can become King Entertainment again. You guys know I've talked about this in past videos here on the MCU and in my MCU reviews, how basically MCU Phase 4 and MCU Phase 5, as it stands right now, has been very mediocre or just plain out dog water. Okay? So some of these things I've already talked about in past videos, but I kind of wanted to elaborate a little more on how I think, instead of me just complaining constantly on the channel, I wanted to make a video where I'm like, okay, you know what? I've done a lot of complaining. I've taken a lot of feedback from friends, family, and of course you guys that watch me here on the channel of ways that I think the MCU could get better. And I've heard different ways from different people as to what would get them more invested again into the MCU. I know for a fact there's going to be people that I'm never going to be able to get to watch movies and shows MCU wise with me again, because I know for a fact that I have a friend that told me when Avengers Infinity War was coming out, he's like, I'm going to watch Captain Marvel and I'm going to watch Avengers Endgame, but they said everything has been building up to Avengers Endgame, so Endgame is going to be the end of the plot. It's going to be the end of the characters. They're going to keep going on and on and on and on with this universe, but I'm done. So, if I have repeated myself on any of these things, I do apologize. But we're going to go through the list. Now, I want to get the obvious ones kind of out of the way. First off, of how the MCU can become King Entertainment again. First of all, they need to make quality product. Now, some of these are going to be kind of interchangeable. It's not like a 1 to 10, and some of these kind of like go hand in hand. But first thing they need to do, make a quality product. Get rid of this female-centric, this multiversal bullshit, this wokeness identity messaging, political messaging crap. They need to make a product that's quality entertainment. Like the title of this video. They need to become an entertainment focused producer. They need to produce good quality content. Second thing they need to do, they need to make less. Yes, you heard me. They need to make less of product. Because ever since Avengers Endgame ended, we've gotten... Hang on, I'm going to look this up. So, what I mean is that in Phase 4, we got WandaVision, we got The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we got Loki Season 1, we got Black Widow, we got What If Season 1, we got Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, we got Eternals, and we got Hawkeye. That's 8 Wait, no. That's 8. What else did we get? We got... Hang on, let it load. So we got all 8 of those projects for MCU Phase 4. And then for MCU Phase 5, we've gotten... What do we get for MCU Phase 5? I mean, we're kind of in the middle of Phase 5. Phase 5. Ant-Man and the Wasp. But my point is we've gotten so... It's really confusing trying to find the list. I don't know why it is. But we've gotten so much stuff, so much product, and trying to keep up with it. We've gotten... What else did we get? We also got Moon Knight, Ms. Marvel, Thor Love and Thunder, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. and it's just confusing to keep track of what has come out and what we need to watch next as part of the MCU ever since Avengers Endgame. So that's number 2. Number 3, make movies, make a theatrical released film the priority over a Disney Plus show. We've gotten I Am Groot, Moon Knight, Loki, WandaVision, Hawkeye. We've gotten Miss Marvel. We've gotten Secret Invasion. We've gotten She-Hulk. We've gotten Captain America and the Winter Soldier. WandaVision. I'm sure there's like 1 or 2, maybe even 3 other shows. We've gotten like at least 10 shows, and we've gotten more movies than that. And there needs to be a priority on theatrical releases over shows. Put your money towards the shows. Because put your money towards the movies, not the shows. If people like your movies, they're going to subscribe to Disney Plus to watch your shows. People are not going to subscribe to Disney Plus to watch your shows and then go watch your movies. It won't work like that, and it hasn't worked, okay? The only reason people have been subscribed to Disney Plus, like myself, is so I can watch new Star Wars stuff. But to be honest, Star Wars recently has been in a gigantic decline. And you can see that with the upcoming Acolyte show. Number 4, they need to make the Disney Plus shows standalone features. What do I mean by that? They can exist within the MCU. I'm going to use things such as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Moon Knight of recent as an example. Both of those shows take place within the established timeline of the MCU. However, you've got the main Avengers core group right here, and then you've got something like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show that's over here, okay? It's way away from it. Now, sometimes it gets close and it interconnects with what's happening in the main timeline of events in the MCU, especially during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s first 3 seasons, especially season 2 into 3, that really collided with the MCU. Halfway through, I think it was season 1, we had the events of Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and the downfall of S.H.I.E.L.D. That played a huge role in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show. But for the most part, things like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Moon Knight, while they are taking place chronologically alongside the MCU, and even the last 2 seasons takes place alongside the events of Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, they're not woven connected tissue. Those characters from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. don't pop up into the MCU and vice versa for the most part. So you need to make it where the movies and the shows, they're their own separate thing. They can bounce and have references and whatnot, but they shouldn't be so interconnected, such as, like, in order to understand Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, you needed to have seen Doctor Strange, you needed to have seen Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, you needed to have seen WandaVision, and, why is it that when you want to watch one Marvel project, you have to do a bunch of homework? Same thing with the Marvels that came out recently. In order to understand that, you needed to have seen Captain Marvel, you needed to have seen WandaVision, and the Miss Marvel show. You need to have seen 3 pieces of media to understand one. It just doesn't work. So, make your movies and shows separate things that can exist within the MCU, but they need to not be so interconnected. Number 5, hire intelligent writers. This goes back to the first point, where you need to make it where your writing team is not full of a bunch of people that are trying to weave in their female woke political filled ideology into a entertainment product. Okay? You need to hire writers with either 2 things: great new, fresh, and innovative ideas to tell an entertaining superhero story. Or 2, hire somebody that has experience writing good quality content that has been in the industry for a good while. Quit hiring writers that are so full of themselves, that have no knowledge, no life experience, haven't written a thing. They shouldn't be being greenlit to be the writers of a million or billion-dollar project, probably, within the MCU without having any sort of credentials. Looking at you, Madam Web. Or hire somebody that, while they don't have any credentials, they've got a fresh, innovative concept that they think is going to do really well for an MCU project. Me, myself, I've actually written 27 short stories, and while they are based loosely on things such as like Star Wars, Stargate, and Star Trek of that nature, I have inspiration from those things, but I've made it my own in those short little stories. By the way, you guys can check out my books read by me playlist and you can understand what I'm talking about. But you need to hire intelligent writers. 6, you need to make Marvel movies an event. Ever since Avengers Endgame, I haven't wanted to go to see a Marvel movie and me be like, I'm so excited, new Marvel film! Okay? I'm not really even all that gung-ho for like something like Deadpool and Wolverine, even though it's part of the MCU. I'm not excited. I don't care about seeing a midnight release. I remember going and seeing, and making a memory, making an experience. I remember seeing Captain America because I was such a big Captain America fanboy at the time. I still am, but his torch has been passed on to somebody that's just full of political bullshit now. New Captain America should have been Bucky, not Wilson. Still triggers me. But, where was I? Oh, Captain America, The Winter Soldier. That was one of the first movies I ever saw at an opening midnight release. And I remember it. And it was an event. It was a memory. Same thing with, I saw, what was another movie I saw opening night, part of the MCU? Thor Ragnarok, I saw opening night. I saw Avengers Infinity War opening night, and I saw Avengers Endgame opening night. But ever since then, I'm just like, I have no desire, I have no intrigue, no interest. There's no excitement. And also, once you watched an MCU movie at the theater, normally you would have excitement to be like, oh, this is coming out next, woohoo, I can't wait to see what happens. Now it's just like, another thing's coming out in 3 months. Oh no, there's a new show coming out in 2 weeks, I guess I gotta watch that. There's no excitement, there's no passion anymore. Number 7. There needs to be an end goal. Apparently MCU Phase 4, 5, and 6, and a possible 7, which has been rumored, is supposed to be part of this multiverse saga. But I don't know where this multiverse saga is going. MCU 4 didn't have a cohesive ending. Like, every single phase had, like, an end point. Like, the first phase ended with the original Avengers movie. Phase 2 ended with Ant-Man, even though it should have ended with Age of Ultron, but whatever. And then Phase 3 ended with Avengers Endgame. Phase 4 didn't have an ending. Phase 5, I don't think it's going to have an ending. Phase 6 is supposed to end with these 2 Avengers movies, aka Secret Wars. But I just like, where's the end goal? Where are we going, plot and character-wise? Because I haven't a clue. I don't know where we're going. I don't know what are we building up to? Because I don't know. As somebody who has watched everything MCU-wise, good, bad, and horrible, I don't know where the story is going. And people that I talk to, like my mom, she's like, who's this, and why is this person there, and why are they doing this? And it's just a gigantic jumbled mess. It's like a jigsaw puzzle without the box. Okay? It's really confusing. Number 8. You need to figure out a way to balance the new and the old characters. What do I mean by that? Obviously, with the events of Avengers Endgame, and what's funny is MCU Phase 4 and 5, they keep referencing that instead of trying to chug along forward, they keep looking to the past. So, what they need to do is they need to make Marvel films that make it where you can introduce new and exciting characters that are fresh and innovative, but quit trying to just disregard the old characters in your film without even like them either not being on screen or not even having a reference. Like, not every single Avengers died in Avengers Endgame. We've still got Hawkeye. We still got Captain Marvel. We still have Thor. We still have Ant-Man. We still have Hulk. We've got all the Guardians of the Galaxy, which are technically they're each their own Avenger, except for the Gamora that got pulled from the past into the future, which is just another topic for another day. But you see my point? We got all these old characters, and all MCU Phase 4 and 5 really has done is introduce new ones without trying to mash them together. I think the best example, honestly, was probably Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, bringing in WandaVision, Doctor Strange, and bringing that in with, Captain Chavez. It's probably the closest thing they've done for trying to balance the old and the new. That is one thing I did like about that film. That's basically it. But they need to balance the old and the new. And I think that would help. Number 9. Kill some characters off. Okay? Go back and rewatch anything from MCU Phase 4 and 5 of late. Tell me when they've actually killed a character off. It had an emotional impact. And that character stayed dead. Okay? There are characters I know for a fact in Phase 4 and 5. They killed them off. But because of the multiverse plotline, they don't stay dead. So there's no emotional resonance with these characters when they die. Because you've introduced this plot tool called the multiverse that allows you to go into one universe and bring somebody of similar nature, like, oh no, my Captain America's dead. Well, we'll just go over to Earth 11111 and grab them from their universe and bring them over, and all is good. You need to kill a character off, keep them dead, so it has an emotional impact. And if you do all three of those things, it raises the stakes. Okay? It makes you understand, hey, our heroes are dying, and we need to find a solution to stop this from happening. If characters don't die and there's no like meat and potatoes of life and death within your film franchise, why in the world should you get emotionally invested if everyone just has this safety net plot device armor on them and they're never going to have anything happen to them? They won't even get a scratch. They won't even get a splinter. Okay? It's just stupid. You need to kill some characters off and you need to keep them dead. Like, even with the Avengers Infinity War snap at the end by Thanos, you knew for a fact all those characters were going to come back in Endgame because it just had to happen. But, like, characters that have gotten killed off in the MCU and they've stayed dead and had an emotional impact. Quicksilver. Technically, Bucky Barnes died in the first Captain America movie, and he got resurrected as the Winter Soldier in Captain America Winter Soldier. What other characters have died that have stayed dead? Black Widow / Natasha Romanoff. Thanos. Dear God. If they bring back Thanos for Avengers Secret Wars, I'm going to be so pissed. Same thing if they bring back Tony Stark. If Iron Man shows up in Avengers Secret Wars, I'm going to be so mad because it's going to ruin the emotional impact of his death and his sacrifice in Endgame. Oh. All right, last thing. They need to take risks. They need to take risks with different storytelling. And that's going to kind of like wrap everything up. They need to take risks with different storytelling. They need to come up with some new interesting characters to put in. Obviously, they're trying to rely a lot on nostalgia with this multiverse thing, with things like Deadpool, Wolverine, the rest of the X-Men franchise. They're going to bring in the Fantastic Four. Unfortunately, they're screwing that up, but with a female Silver Surfer. They're going to try to bring in a new Captain America. Hulk is supposed to show up again at some point. We're supposed to be getting a bunch of other MCU characters, Marvel characters thrown into this. But they need to come up with something different. They need to come up with something that's a little more interesting. unique. So those are going to be my 10 ways in which the MCU I think can become kink entertainment again. This is my list. I'm welcome to your guys' feedback and thoughts and opinions. So I hope this video was entertaining. If you guys agree or disagree, let me know in the comment section down below. And have an excellent day. And I will continue watching and reviewing these films, whether it's theatrical or I will wait for it to come out on Disney Plus, depending on my feeling of the trailer. But I will review and cover them no matter what. Thank you guys for watching. Have an excellent day, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys. Man, that was